Welcome, welcome. Dr. Stephen Hobbs here from the WELLth Movement, sharing a tip for co-creating the well-living workplace. And one of the words that I would weave into this co-creation is the word flow. There are concepts and practices associated with flow that I think make a really big difference. Now, from a personal point of view, you probably have heard about flow as that notion of being in this experience, being very immersed of it. Time seems to sort of float away, and you're so into it that you sort of, head comes up about 2 hours later and you go, wow, what just happened? But look what I've created. Writers certainly experience this, people who draw, but managers and leaders can as well, because they're very much into attempting to figure out ways in which to help everyone to be better at their job. So there is that word called flow, and there is an excellent book by Csikszentmihalyi that you can grab a hold of and read through from certainly a personal perspective. But by extension, there is this notion of organizational flow. And I associate that with the word movement, and it's actually another important word in the co-creation world of the well-living workplace. And I'm going to touch on that a lot more and link it to the word profitability. But in the moment right now, this notion of movement is very much like a metaphor in a sense. I've asked many people, what's an organization like? And they'll say things like, well, it's like a river that's been dammed up. Oh, okay, that gives you a bit of an image of what's going on in your workplace. Or obviously, it seems to be like a river. It's flowing and it's moving along and it's going where it needs to. And we're on top of it paddling and seeing where the river takes us. That's another metaphor. So again, the flow with organizational metaphor. There's another way of looking at it, which is very much like a tool, like a flow chart. And I draw them whenever I find myself needing to see where I'm starting and where I'm going and what's going to happen in between. I find them very helpful. There's lots of software programs where you can play with them, but even hand drawing flow charts can be used at a very high level as well as from a plan level. So from that map level and from the plan level. Another way to look at flow is this notion of workflow automation. And that's particularly becoming important now with AI and a lot more with the software services and apps. Is how can you actually get the work to flow using this technology structure to work with? So that's another aspect. And I would also just bring to your attention, there's an area of nature-based flow from an eco-literacy perspective, and I'll put a reference below the video. But the idea here is that there is this flow in the ecosystem. So when you build a business, you would like to see an ecosystem that flows. It's moving, it's doing what it is that it needs to do. There's no blocks, there's no hindrances to the workflow and the use of the work tools that are available to you. This idea, though, of flow and eco-literacy, I've come up with something called eco-ethical architecture. And it's on the blog. If you go over to wellthmovement.com/wellth-blog, and wealth is spelled WELLTH, and just put in eco-ethical in the search term, and it will pull up, and you'll see explanations of eco-ethical architecture. I think it's worth having a look at, especially from this co-creation way of looking at things. The aspect that I would weave all of this together is that this flow that you're looking for personally, organizationally, from a productivity, performance, the use of tools, the support structures that are around it, you're looking for this sense of flow. It's not blocked, there's no hindrances. And therefore, if managing and leading is truly engaging and it brings out the the sense of the best and what's better for people, then flow would seem to be there. It is sort of the flow from the heart. It's that contribution. And to be able to to co-create the well-living workplace, it's a great place to come from. It's a great place to work from. So I would encourage you to explore this world of flow. And with that, take care.